What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Awesome Nerd Show. I'm back with more Marvel Legends, and today we're continuing with our Infinity Saga, ending it off with all the individual figures. So we've just piled all the individual figures they released here together. So in this wave, we got Iron Man in the Mark III armor from Iron Man 1, Odin from the first Thor movie, we have Quicksilver from Age of Ultron, and behind all these, we have Surtur from Thor Ragnarok, Captain America from Infinity War, which is a Walmart exclusive, and then the Fat Thor version from Avengers Endgame. So all 6 of these are very cool looking figures. I think they all look awesome, and I'm excited to get them. Of course, getting figures we've not really had before and much needed, like a Quicksilver. I think this is our first one of him, and just more updated versions like the Fat Thor, and his whole armor suit is awesome. So just a whole lot of awesome figures that I feel are much needed and I think look really cool. So I'm excited to open these and check them out. So let me go ahead and get them out of the box and we'll take a look at them and kind of compare them to other figures. So starting off with Iron Man Mark III from the first Iron Man movie in 2008. Of course, Iron Man is Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr. So of course we see his face in here. We don't always get to see Tony Stark's face, but this one does have the helmeted up version. But this is his first full suit and final suit we see in the movie. That suit made from a gold titanium, but Tony didn't like all the gold, so he added the red into it to personalize it for himself, and it was made of gold titanium alloy to solve the icing problem he had with his second suit he made. And the last time we see this suit, it gets damaged beyond repair by Ironmonger at the end of the movie, so it's the last time we see the Mark III. But overall, I think it looks pretty cool. You know, it has that really classic Iron Man look to it of the gold and red, so mostly all red, but has the gold details of like the faceplate there on the biceps and on the front of the thighs, and so the rest of it's all red, and I think it looks pretty cool. Of course, very signature and iconic from that very first Iron Man movie, but just very cool looking overall. So for the figure movements, the head can twist all the way around. He can look down that far and up just about that far. He can look down really good, but up, I'm surprised he doesn't go up any higher, but not too bad overall. The shoulders can come up about 90 degrees there and rotate all the way around. Now with these, we do have the extra little flat piece up on the shoulder, and it's the piece that's connected inside, so it does rotate around within there, which is good. We have the bicep twist, a double elbow joint that can bend up that far, not too bad, and then the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth just a little bit, but he has these armor pieces on his wrist, so he can't really bend up too far. He has an ab crunch right in there, so he can crunch back and forth, so back that far, forward just about that far, so not too bad overall, and can twist around there as well. The hips can come up 90 degrees out to the side that far, thigh twist all the way around in there, a double knee joint that can bend up that far in the back, can kick his own butt. Foot can rock back and forth a little bit, again with the armor protectorate around it, don't really get too much, but can rock back and forth a little bit there, and twist side to side a little bit as well. So not a bad Iron Man figure at all, has some limitations, but that's kind of expected for early suits. And Iron Man has superhuman strength and durability because of his suit. He of course can fly, has the HUD system in his helmet, and he has the repulsors and unibeam, which was weirdly enough, we don't get any of those included with this. You know, those is kind of like a standard thing for Iron Man, but this suit also has a minigun and anti-tank missiles and flares, which we see him use, and that kind of feeds into his accessories. So first off, we get the helmeted head, so we have the fully helmeted head, so you don't see Tony Stark. So let's go and switch this out. So I couldn't get the head switch out. There's something weird with it that I could not get it popped on at all, so I just had to put the other one back on, but I think it looked pretty cool with the fully helmeted face there. He comes with some additional hands, so we have like the open hands for the repulsors, but obviously we don't have the holes to put the effects into, so we just have the open hands there. So let's go and switch these out. So there's the repulsor hands on there, so that actually looks pretty cool. And then we get some additional accessories that go on his arm over here. So we have this kind of open little piece here, so we have this like armor piece that can just pop in, so it just kind of fills in the spot, and so it just goes on there and kind of matches with this side over here. So we have that piece, but we can't pop it off and add some additional pieces. So we have this piece with the missiles on it, so we have the missiles that can shoot off there, of course, like he shoots the tank with, so that is pretty cool. And then we have this additional piece that I don't really know exactly what it does. It's like this big chunky piece, but we can go ahead and pop this on there as well. So that piece kind of fits on his arm there. So again, I don't really know what it's supposed to do or anything, but it's just a big piece. So I think the missiles are pretty cool, but then we can just fill it in back in with this if we don't want to have anything there. But that overall looks pretty cool for Iron Man, and I was trying to find another Iron Man to show you like comparisons to, but this is the oldest one we could find, which was from the first Avengers movie, from when they did like the 10-year anniversary Marvel Studio things just a couple years ago. So we have this version from the first Avengers movie, is the closest in time I could find, and they actually don't look too far off and stuff just with the overall designs, but pretty cool overall I think, especially for the first like actual full Iron Man suit from Iron Man 1. I think looks pretty cool here. And next up we have Odin, or Odin Borson, played by Anthony Hopkins from Thor 2011. And Odin is the king of Asgard and the father of Thor and Loki. And in the movie we see him strip the powers of Thor and exile him to Earth when Thor tried to provoke a war with the Frost Giants. But during that time Odin fell into an Odin sleep, which is just a deep sleep where he recharges his powers. And in that time Loki took over Asgard and Thor ended up returning to save the day, and that caused Odin to deem Thor worthy to take the throne one day. So he looks pretty awesome here, you know, very similar to Thor overall. So of course he is an older man, so he has the missing eye, of course, classic for Odin, but he has the older man face with the white beard. I like the awesome Asgardian helmet, so he has like the wing helmet design similar to Thor, which of course does come off, and then the horns like Loki as well. And then there we have the older face. You can see he's got scars on his face and everything else as well. Looks pretty cool with the long white hair. And face wise, you know, for Anthony Hopkins, I can't really tell. Like, I don't think it's far off, but I can't really tell it's him though much either, but it looks pretty good there. But then his outfit looks very similar to Thor's, so he has the long red cape like Thor, but then he has the outfit of like blacks and golds and browns, so it looks pretty cool. So he's got like brown underneath for his outfit, and then the armor on top and like the silver and golds and all sorts of darker colors there. It looks pretty awesome. Again, very similar to Thor's overall, with some gauntlet pieces on there as well. Brown legs going down to the dark brown boots and look pretty cool. Like I said, very much like Thor overall. You could probably pop a Thor head on here, you wouldn't have much difference. But overall, I think he does look pretty cool. But for movements, we're going to pop the head off there, so we can twist the head around in there. Of course, with the long hair, it's kind of in the way. And you look down and nodding just very little back and forth. Shoulders can come up about 90 degrees there if you kind of force the armor out of the way and rotate around within there. We get the bicep twist, a double elbow joint that can bend up that far, not too bad. Wrist twist around and flex up and down. It's got an ab crunch and twist right at the waist there, so you can see the separation and the twist, crunch and twist there. Hips can come up 90 degrees out to the side that far. Thigh twist all the way around. A double knee joint that can bend up that far in the back, and the foot can rock back and forth and twist side to side. So overall, it looks pretty cool and a much needed Odin to go with our Marvel Legends. And for additional accessories, he comes with an unhelmeted head, so it's pretty much the same, just the hair's a little bit more poofy, not as slick, and he has a bit of like the smile there. He comes with some additional hands, so we get a fist hand and a grip hand. And Odin has the Asgardian physiology, so he has the superhuman strength, durability, all that sort of stuff. He has the Odin force manipulation, and he's a master combatant, and he can fight with his Gungnir spear, so this is pretty cool. So it's an Uru metal spear, looks pretty awesome overall. So his classic weapons, you know, especially takes and taps it on the floor in the movie, so pretty awesome there. So let's put this into his hand. So there's Odin looking all regal and stuff, and very cool looking. I really like this figure a lot, and like I said, definitely a much needed figure for the MCU Marvel Legends, so that is really cool. And next up we have Quicksilver, also known as Pietro Maximoff, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, and he grew up in Sokovia with his twin sister of Wanda, where he ended up being recruited by Baron von Strucker for tests with the Mind Stone, which gave them both abilities, and for him it was super speed. And then we see him in Age of Ultron join up with Ultron to get revenge on Tony Stark for killing their family. But after learning Ultron's true intentions, him and his sister join up with the Avengers. Till the Battle of Sokovia, Quicksilver sacrifices himself to save Hawkeye from the Ultron. But I'm surprised this is the first time we're actually getting a Marvel Legend of Quicksilver here. I think he looks pretty cool. You know, accuracy is not the best, like the face I don't think looks the best, but it, you know, does have some of that Aaron Taylor Johnson in there. But he has the white hair, of course, classic for Quicksilver, and some of the beard going in there. And then he has the specialized suit that he picked up when joining the Avengers, so it probably has like some friction stuff to it, very similar to like the Flash's outfits. But I like it being in the all gray and blue, you know, very classic Quicksilver looks to it, along with sort of like the silver in there, kind of like lightning bolts. And then just some like leather pants, of course, that a lot of the Avengers characters wear, and then some running shoes that are all gray with the bright green soles on them. So very cool looking figure overall. Like I said, I wish the face was a little bit better. This is probably one of the worst looking faces to me for accuracy, but overall I think the figure looks really good. So for movements, head can twist all the way around. He can look down that far and up that far, so really good movements in there. Shoulders up 90 degrees, rotate all the way around, bicep twist, double elbow joint that can bend up that far, and wrist twist around and flex back and forth. Ab crunch in the middle there, so crunch forward and backwards, so not too bad, and twist side to side as well as twist all the way around at the waist. Hips up 90 degrees out to the side that far, thigh twist all the way around, a double knee joint that bends that far in the back, and the foot flexes back and forth and twists side to side. Now Quicksilver has the superhuman speed as mentioned, as well as an increased metabolism, so he can withstand damage more, and he also has force generation. And for accessories, he comes with some additional hands, so we have two hands for like running style stuff, so let's switch these out. So there, I got the hands switched out, and as much of a pose as I can get without him falling. And for additional accessories, we get some of the Ultron robots, so we get a headpiece here, so it does have that Ultron look to it, and the spinal column there, we get an arm piece, so we just have the whole arm all torn up and damaged, and then we also have the chest piece as well. So just different pieces for Ultron there that you can kind of throw around to kind of display, or if you want, you could use his hands and like put pieces in it and something. But just pretty cool that it comes with those accessories, and we can bring in a sister of Wanda, so this is just the oldest version I could find of figures to throw in here with him, but we don't have the exact one from Age of Ultron, but those look pretty cool there of Wanda and Pietro. Now next up we have this very large figure here of Surtur, which is the fire demon and lord of Muspelheim. Now Surtur is a significant figure in the Ragnarok prophecy, which said he would initialize the fall of Asgard by consuming it in flames, this through the use of the eternal flame. Now, when we first see in the movie, Surtur had been weakened by Odin 500,000 years ago, and he captured Thor, and he explained to Thor that Ragnarok was happening because of Odin missing from Asgard. So Thor ended up defeating him and taking his crown and locking it away in Odin's vault until the end of Thor Ragnarok, where we see Loki get the crown and place it on the eternal flame to bring him back and cause Ragnarok to happen on Asgard so they could use his powers to take out Hela. So Surtur here looks cool. He's really big, so he's a really tall figure, so I have to have it zoomed out all the way, and he's just really tall. So it's like, here's the Odin compared to, you can see how tall it is, so it's like probably a double the size figure, and he's just huge. He's all flames and fire and charcoal and stuff, and he's all like see-through material, so you can kind of see like all his body's pretty hollow and stuff, so you can see all the way through it, and he looks pretty awesome. So like I said, he's all like flames and stuff and like burnt pieces and everything, and then his head looks pretty cool as well, so you can see the face there, so you can see his eyes, his mouth open like yelling, the crown on his head with the big horns and stuff, some flames there on his back and down his arms, and just looks pretty crazy. But it's very awesome to have this giant figure as well. Now for movements, his head there can twist side to side. He can look down that far and up that far, so not a whole lot of range, but not really expected for a big figure. Shoulders can come up just a little bit. They don't really move too much at all, just very little movement in there, but they can twist all the way around. They get the bicep twist, a double elbow joint that can bend up that far, and the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. He's got an ab crunch, but doesn't really crunch too much at all, but he does twist side to side there. Then he has the lower crunch right at the waist, so he can forward and back there, so really good. So he just has the twist up and the crunch lower. Hips can come up 90 degrees out to the side that far, thigh twist all the way around. A double knee joint that bends up that far in the back. He's got like an ankle twist there right above the ankle, and the foot can rock back and forth and twist side to side. But the coolest thing about this figure is just his overall size. It's pretty awesome just how big they made this figure. Now Surtur has superhuman strength and durability. He's near immortal and has the power of fire manipulation, and he wears the crown of Surtur and has the Twilight Sword. So he has this giant sword that almost looks like a piece of beef jerky, and you can see through it and stuff. Very awesome looking sword though, with a nice hilt piece and handle there going into the big sword that's all serrated and stuff. Very cool looking. So let's put this into his hand. So there's the sword in his hands, and speaking of hands, we also get some additional hands. So we have an open claw hand and a fist hand as well. So very cool just overall for Surtur, and just an awesome looking figure. And then we got Captain America, real name Steve Rogers, played by Chris Evans, and so this is just an updated version of the figure. So we got the one a while ago that didn't look as good that I will show, so this is just a more updated version, so we get much more accurate looking face, just overall much more accurate as I will show you, but it just looks really cool. So he has his Captain America outfit, but of course he's in like the nomad version, or man with no country or whatever, so the star is ripped off, and his suit's a little bit like darker, more dirty and stuff, but he's got the blue suit on with the red and white stripes, belt around his waist and gloves, and then the blue pants legs with the red stripes going down into the black boots. Just overall this looks really cool. This is absolutely awesome. Of course I love Captain America, so this is an awesome looking figure. Getting the updated version, can't complain anything at all about that. So this of course is from Avengers Infinity War, and in this movie we saw him on the run with Black Widow, Falcon, and Scarlet Witch following the events of Civil War, and we see him when he first appears to save Vision from the Black Order attack and takes Vision away to Wakanda to have the Wakandans work on him, and he joins up with Black Panther's army to hold off the Outrider attack from Thanos, and then eventually tries to stop Thanos from performing the snap, but of course all the Avengers fail and Thanos does anyway. So for moments the head can twist all the way around, he can look down just about that far and up just about the far. Of course, real stiff in the neck. Shoulders come up 90 degrees and rotate all the way around. We get the bicep twist, a double elbow joint that bends up that far. Wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. We have that crunch forward and back there, so really good, and twist all the way around at the waist. Hips come up 90 degrees out to the side that far. Thigh twist all the way around. A double knee joint that bends up that far in the back. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot flexes back and forth and can twist side to side. And for accessories, we get an additional head. So we have the head where he's there yelling. So this could be like recreating the scene when he's trying to stop Thanos from the snap in his face and stuff, and the hair is more kind of loose and everything. So that's really cool. They included that. Now, still the accuracy for Chris Evans, I don't think they did too good. Like, I think it's much more accurate, but I still don't think it's there. We get some additional hands. So we have two fist hands there. So we have the gloved hands. And finally, we have the Wakandan shield. So we get two shields this time, where the last figure we only got the one, and we have two. Just the only difference is we have one with like the whole spike sticking out more than the other one, and it's more fanned out and stuff, but very cool looking and a nice design. So you just slide on the hand, then put the grip hand on the handle there. So let's go and put these on. So there I got the shields on his hands, and that looks really cool there. And of course we can bring in that older version so you can see the differences they did. So of course they probably just went off like concept art and stuff for this original one, so it doesn't have nearly the likeness of Chris Evans, but he has the shorter style haircut cut, where in the movie he had the longer style. And then he has the darker outfit overall, which color-wise doesn't really matter. I mean, they both should be darker and stuff, but I do like this one because it does look more like the actual Captain America outfit. But then this one also, we got the only one gloved hand, and then of course, as I mentioned, it came with the one Wakandan shield as well. So I like that we got both gloved hands and both Wakandan shields with this one. So I definitely love this one a lot more, and definitely the much better version. And finally, we have Thor in his like fat warrior version, but this is Thor Odin, played by Chris Hemsworth. So of course we don't really get to see his face too well, especially since he has the white eyes, but I think you can just look at it and see that accuracy in there. So I think they did a good job there. But this of course is from Avengers Endgame, and this is 5 years after the snap when Thor moved to New Asgard up in Norway, and he became depressed and overweight till he was visited by Hulk and Rocket Raccoon, where they convinced Thor to rejoin the Avengers. And following the Avengers time heist and reversing the snap, Thanos attacked the Avengers headquarters, and so the Avengers started to go to battle with Thanos, and Thor ended up calling upon lightning, and it gave him his outfit. So it gave him this whole outfit, and of course brought his two weapons of Mjolnir and Stormbreaker to him. So we have Thor here in his full Asgardian outfit, which I think is pretty cool. I like his face. We'll start off there. So the face looks pretty good, like Chris Hemsworth. I like they gave him the long beard that's all braided, and the long blonde hair, it's all like knotted up there, and the top, pretty cool. I like that head design overall. And then we got his body that looks pretty similar to like the classic Thor armor. The only thing I wish is that the arms were like the silver like chainmail design instead of the all black, but it looks pretty cool. He's got like the dots on his chest and the whole chest armor piece, the cape hanging in the back with the red cape looks pretty awesome there. And of course he is the fat Thor, so he does have the belly on him there, so I like that they did that. And then we got his pants, which is very similar to what we've seen before, and I'll show you that like older figure, knee pads, the shin coverings into the boots as well. But overall it's just a really nice looking figure. You know exactly how he looked at the end of the movie there, looks pretty awesome, and this is just a really cool looking figure. So for movements, the head there can twist side to side, so of course the hair is going to be in the way as you expect, and look down just a little bit and up, so very little movements in the neck. Shoulders can come up 90 degrees and rotate around within there. We get the bicep twist, a double elbow joint that can bend up that far, so not too bad. The wrist can twist around and flex up and down. He does have an ab crunch and twist right under his chest there, so you have separation, so he can crunch back and forth, so mostly back but forward a little bit there too, and twist side to side. Hips can come up under 90 degrees there, out to the side that far. Thigh twist all the way around. A double knee joint that can bend up that far in the back, and the foot can rock back and forth and twist side to side. So I really enjoy this figure overall. So of course Thor has the Asgard physiology, so same thing as his own, so they have all the superhuman powers, but then he also has the electrical energy manipulation to control lightning. He can of course fly, and then uses the weapons of Stormbreaker and Mjolnir, so we can go and bring that stuff in. I guess first we do have some extra hands, so we have some just open reaching out hands if you want to use those, and then we get his weapons, so we have Stormbreaker and Mjolnir. So we have Stormbreaker here that he made in Avengers Infinity War, so we have Stormbreaker with the blue head, and of course the wood stem made by Groot, so it looks pretty cool there. And then we have Mjolnir as well, so the classic Thor's hammer, and again all in blue with the little lightning designs on it and the usual handle and strap there, so both very cool looking. So let's go and put these into his hands. So there's both weapons in his hands, and he also comes with some electricity that I assume you can wrap around on him maybe, so it's got some of the lightning effects. So there's the lightning on the two weapons, so that looks very cool just overall for those two. So of course we can look at some other figures of Thor. So this is how he looked in Avengers Infinity War, so of course the smaller version, but then the very similar outfit overall. They just kind of switched the arms to the black version, but that's what his outfit mostly looks like. And then of course we have the fat Thor version where we first see him in the sweatshirt, all that stuff. So that's a combination of like you took the two outer ones, you put them together, you get the new one in the center. So that is pretty cool, and like I said, I really enjoy the look of this figure overall. So that's gonna be it for our Marvel Legends Infinity Saga individual figures, where we had Iron Man, Odin, Quicksilver, Surtur, Walmart exclusive Captain America, and the fat Thor. So all are very cool looking figures. I think all are much needed. Of course things like the Iron Man and the Captain America you don't really need. All the others are pretty new style figures, but of course it's awesome to get those two in the much better new and improved looks. So that was a pretty awesome, and then getting the giant Surtur there in the back. So I can't recommend these figures enough. I think they're all incredible. But let me know what you thought of these figures down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.